Hi, this is Amy and welcome back to my channel, onemicrostep. Today we're going to be reviewing the meals that I cooked during the week that ended on February 16th. So we will start with Super Bowl Sunday. So on this day, I actually had a friend that invited a bunch of us over to their house, and so we had agreed to bring over a bulk of the meals. I mean, it was a potluck dinner, but we decided to kind of bring like the meat. And so for that day, I had actually went out and ordered barbecue for 10 people and wings and pizza. So I had set aside a budget of $300. So we came right under at $299.98. I decided, since I wasn't going to have to cook on Sunday, that I could use that time to make frozen lasagna. So it's actually my first frozen meal plan that I've made ahead of schedule. And so I spent that afternoon making frozen lasagna to see if the cost and if the taste is better than what I would get at Costco, their frozen lasagna. Here are some excerpts of myself making it. Okay, so that was Sunday, and luckily the team that we cheered for won, so it was a great Super Bowl. On Monday, because we still had a lot of leftovers, we just ate that on Monday. So on Tuesday, I made chicken burritos with Adobe sauce, and basically I was still using the chicken thighs that I really like, and made some cilantro lime rice, which is kind of like what I usually get at Chipotle. So I made that and just added some lettuce, some green onions, and basically and some Adobe sauce. So Adobe sauce is really simple. It's just Chipotle and Adobe sauce in a can that you mix with sour cream, and basically just grilled the tortilla on a cast iron. So just did that really quickly, and it was really delicious. This was a hit with everybody in the family. So that cost $18.87. And then on Wednesday, again, we made Sundubu jjigae, because I have a tendency where if I really like something and my family really likes something, then I kind of go through a stretch of time where I tend to make it over and over again. So I'm sorry if you guys are tired of seeing me make the same thing, but this is just a realistic picture of what I actually cook. And we still had, I was planning on making hot pot for Chinese New Year, but then because I was invited over to my sister's, I still had a lot of stuff that was left over. So I ended up throwing it into the Sundubu jjigae. I had fresh watercress that I threw in. I added some black fungus that my kids really like. And so it actually turned out really well. We all really enjoyed this. Again, and this was $29.57. And then on Thursday, because Thursday was a busy day, I honestly can't remember what we had to do, but I was running around and doing stuff. I decided to try a pot roast in the Crockpot. Normally I make pot roast in a Dutch oven and I cook it in the oven for 3 hours. But this time I was like, let me just try it in a crock pot. And it turned out pretty good. Not as good as the Dutch oven, but I still really liked it. And then as a side, again, I made cauliflower mac and cheese. But this time I actually added some pasta shells to it because I had some extra pasta. So I just did a little bit. And we all really liked this a lot. So that was $23.85. The picture that I'm about to show you doesn't look really good. It looks really terrible because I also threw in some leftover coleslaw. But I'll be honest, it tasted great. So this was one of those meals that I really enjoyed. And then last of all, on Friday, this is a new to me recipe. It's pork tonkatsu with cabbage. I saw some YouTube shorts and some YouTube videos of people making this, so I was really intrigued. So I decided to make it because I actually had some pork loin that was available. So I just sliced those in half and pounded those and breaded them in panko. And instead of deep frying it, I actually threw it in the oven because I really don't like to deep fry, just because of the extra calorie intake and also because it's just really messy. It probably would have tasted better if I was to fry it, but it wasn't too bad, just throwing it in the oven. And I also made this cabbage slaw that I shaved with a mandolin. And the recipe also included a tonkatsu sauce, which after I had made it, we all just agreed it tasted like barbecue sauce, so we could have just used regular barbecue sauce to put on top of our tonkatsu. But I also made a sesame seed dressing that went with the cabbage slaw, and that tasted really good. So that meal was $12.29. Actually, it really wasn't bad at all. I think next time if I was to make this, I would make this more for a lunch versus a supper, just because that's kind of where we felt like it was more appropriate. And then Saturday, we just had leftovers. So in total for the week, the cost of meals that I made was $84.57. Now, if I were to include the stuff that we purchased for Super Bowl, it's actually $384.55. So, but I'm already starting to realized that going out to eat is really expensive these days. I just couldn't believe it that barbecue was this much. So I think next year I'm going to start, if we were going to, bring in the bulk of the food, aka the meat, then I'm going to start looking around and pre-planning what I plan on cooking next year. And I don't know if it's going to be like hamburger sliders or, I don't know, meatballs in a crock pot or something like that. But I'm going to try to, look into recipes that I can make in preparation for Super Bowl so that I'm not having to go out and spend a lot of money. And also still be in control of, what I'm actually putting, because I tend to like grass-fed meats, organic chickens. Anyway, that's it for this week. I hope to see you in my next video, and I hope you have a great week. Thanks. Bye.